Hi, my name is Cathy Andronicou, and today I'm going to show you how to create this card using Chameleon Colour Tones pens. The card actually folds flat for mailing and pops up when you want to display it. So to begin, I'm going to be using the Tattered Lace Bella die by Stephanie Waitman. Now what I've done is I've used some black card that I used from another die cut image and created a template using the waist. And this actually helps to colour with die cuts that are intricate. So into my template I pop my white die cut image. And once that's in place, I'm then ready to begin the colouring process. Now I'm going to colour two of these, one for the front and one for the back. So to begin, I'm going to use Purple Grape and I'm going to start colouring her dress. So I'm going to use the brush tip end of my pen and I'm going to place the mixing chamber on and hold it in an upright position and leave it there for around about 15 seconds. Then I can start to colour from the edge of my dress out. Now I need to hold the pen in a fairly upright position. And as I colour, I start with a light shade. And then as I go further down the image, the shade starts to darken. Now we're only colouring a small section of this because I'm going to do this multiple shades. And you can see it gets darker as I move up the image. I'm now going to repeat the process using the red pen. So this time I'm taking crimson red and again using the brush tip I'm going to infuse my mixing chamber onto the nib for about 15 seconds. Again starting to colour with the lightest shade at the tip and gradually work my way up. You don't have to press very hard at all to achieve the results. So I'm going to continue this process until the whole of the dress is coloured. So once the dress is coloured in on both my die cut images, the front and the back, I'm then ready to colour in the hair and then the face and the arms. So I'll start off with the back one and I'm going to be using Bisque. So I'm just going to infuse with this pen for about 5 seconds. And then I'm going to start with the top part of her arm. And then as I work down, let it get that little bit darker so that it forms a slight darker shadow on the underside. I'll repeat that process as I go along. And I can just darken it down by adding more. I'm just going to give her back a little bit of shape and also around the base here. so now I can do the back of her hair, and for this I'm going to use bark. So I'm going to use the bullet tip end this time, and I'm going to infuse for about 5 seconds. And I'm just going to colour from the centre out to the edge to start with. Now I can start actually adding some texture by adding some light flicks to the top of the bun and also the base of her neckline. Each time infusing and pulling those flicks up so that it looks like she has variation of colour in her hair. So that completes the black back. So I'm now ready to do the same thing, but this time on the front. So again, I'm going to use my bisque, and I'm going to start colouring where I want it lightest, and then bring it down darker around the dress line. Just put it a little bit darker under her chin. Just blend that colour in. Now I can do her face. And again I start from the centre of her face and work out towards the edges. And again using the bullet nib for her hair. So both parts are now finished being coloured and are ready to take out of the templates. So I'm going to put these to one side for a moment and show you now how to create the base of the card. So I've cut a piece of card to measure 10 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to score along the 1 inch line, 2.5 inch line, the 3.5 inch line, the 6.5 inch line, the 7.5 inch line, and the 9 inch line. Then I want to cut a small strip in the centre piece. So I'm just going to cut this out. So I can then remove that part and fold all the elements of the card. Now I'm going to place some double-sided adhesive on the 2 end tabs here. I've also taken a small strip of gold card that I've cut to measure 1 3/4 inches by 1 5/8 of an inch, and I've punched a little hole in the centre here. This is going to slot into my slit here, and then it's going to attach to the 2 tabs that I've put adhesive on. That forms the base of our platform and will fold flat. I've then used Spellbinder's Grand Nesting Ovals to create 2 die cut frames, and also I've used the waste from the centre of one other. The actual ovals I've used are the 6 1/4 by 4 3/4 inch and the 5 5/8 inch by 4 1/4 inch. Again, I'm going to cut a slit in the middle of my gold oval. And then place that over the top of my card. So now that's in position, I can now put some double-sided tape on here to secure it in place. So that then sticks my base, so it stands up and then also folds flat. So now I've got my 2 die cut ovals, I've added some double-sided tape to one side, and I've taken a piece of wire and put a bead on either end that's going to sit sandwiched between the 2 pieces. I've also taken the penny black flourish die, and I've die cut several of these flourishes to go around the edge of my card. So I will trim these so that they fit to size how I want them to be. So I do this for both sides before sandwiching the wire in place. So once I'm happy with the configuration of these, I'm then ready to add my metal wire, which I'm just going to let sit either end of the oval. Now, just for secureness, I'm just going to add a little couple of dots of glue. So I'm using some Beacon 3-in-1. I'm just putting it either side of where my wire is going to go. I'll just pop my wire in between the 2 areas where I've glued. And then I can pop my frame over the top to secure into place. And just press firmly down all the way around. And just make sure that our wire can move freely. Actually, I don't want to secure that bottom bit, so let's just pull that down. Open a minute, because we need to slot that over our pull-up bit here. So we're just going to slot that over the top. Let's push that down into place. And we just need to push that bead so that it sits in that little gap there. and in place, ready to go. So this will fold flat to go in the envelope, and then stand up to display the card. So one final thing, I've die cut a sentiment called Envision by Penny Black, which says dream. So I'm just going to pop that on the base of my card, and I've used Ken Oliver's Stick It on the back of the die cut so that it's easy to attach. And then all that remains is to attach the front and the back of the coloured in die cut Bella die to the wire to complete the card. And again, I've used Ken Oliver's Stick It to put into place. So I'm just going to position this on my wire centrally. It needs to be a teeny bit higher up. Making sure as you go along that you line up both the sides. So now we have our spinning little lady. Thanks for joining me today. For more inspiration, don't forget to visit chameleonpens.com and blog at chameleonpens.com. Thank you.